Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm here today to share with you guys another book haul of some things I picked up recently, and I am really excited about this because I think there are some really cool items in here. There are some media tie-in things because there always is, that's what I enjoy, and then there's some graphic novels, and then at the end I have a Star Wars book that I am just so excited about, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. But as you know, if you've been watching, I did do a big unhaul at the beginning of the year, but even with that, space is still quite limited, so I've been a lot more I want to say disciplined, but I don't know that that's the right term. I'm a lot pickier about what books I end up bringing back into the house. So these ones, though, are the ones I really enjoy collecting. And I went out and I found like a new bookstore that I'd never been to before. I went to one that I hadn't been to in months. So I know I'm trying not to buy books, but like I love going to these bookstores, thrift stores, things like that. So this is a mix of some thrift store items, some Amazon things, and a bunch of like used bookstores. So I think some things from Ollie's in here as well. So this should be really fun. So hopefully you guys are excited to check out what I ended up picking up in the past month or so. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in. So we'll start with like the mass market paperbacks, and these are exclusively media tie-ins, so I'm sorry if you don't like those. But first one is one I grabbed from eBay. My buddy pointed it out to me. I had no idea of its existence, but this is Spaceballs the book. And you'll see here, this is a novelization by Jovial Bob Stein. Who in the world is Jovial Bob Stein? Well, that is R.L. Stein. So this is written by the same guy who does the Fear Street books, the Goosebump books, the Babysitter books. So of course I'm a big R.L. Stein fan. It had to be added to the collection. It was funny, like my buddy pointed it out to me. There was one on Amazon for like, I don't know, $5 or $6 shipped. And so I was adding it to my cart, but by the time I went to check out, just minutes later, it was gone. So somebody else grabbed it, which was just so weird to me. But either way, I was lucky enough. My buddy sent me a link to eBay and it was very cheap. So I ended up picking it up there on eBay. So this one is, you can see it's actually Point Horror, or part of the Point series. So it's not like officially a point horror novel as far as I know, but you know, it has that logo on it, so that's cool. You can see this one is a shorter one. I wouldn't call this one middle grade necessarily, but it's definitely going to aim toward a YA audience versus an adult audience. But yeah, very excited to check this one out. So Spaceballs the book, which is the novelization to the film, written by Jovial Bob Stein, aka R.L. Stein. A really cool find that I'm happy to have in my novelization collection. Next up was one that I grabbed from a new bookstore that I'd never been to before. And they unfortunately didn't take, because I found the next book. I actually found that there, which I was super happy to find. But it was less than $5, so you had to buy something else, or they would just charge you $5 to use your card, and who carries cash anymore? So I ended up picking out this one. This is actually really cool find. So this is Dick Tracy, The Secret Files. So this one is actually edited by Max Allan Collins and Martin H. Greenberg, which Max Allan Collins I've talked about a ton on this channel. He did the Quarry books. He's done just countless novelizations and media tie-in, and this is another of those media tie-ins. But you can actually see here, if I get to the right page, this is actually a short story anthology that takes place in the Dick Tracy universe. So this is a film that I actually need to check out. I know I seen it when I was much, much younger, but I don't remember it at all. So this is one that if I can find it on Blu-ray cheap, or frankly, even if I can find it on DVD when I go to my used store, if I can find it cheap, then I'm going to pick it up just so I can watch it, because I want to watch that and then check out this book. So yeah, very interesting. You can see 1941, 1955, and today. So I guess those are kind of the eras that are covered in this. So very cool. Love the cover. Love that it's by Max Allan Collins, and it's a short story anthology. This should be pretty fun. So Dick Tracy, The Secret Files, edited by Max Allan Collins and Martin H. Greenberg. Dick Tracy was the add-on book, but this was the one that I was just so excited to come across, because I've been looking for this for probably a good portion of a year now, ever since I found the first two books in this series, and this is Lost Signs of Life. So like I mentioned, there are two other books that are original novels based on the television show Lost, which is one of my all-time favorites. So I found those cheap along the way last year, but I could not find this one in store anywhere. So when I came across it, I got super hyped up, and of course I had to grab it. So Lost Signs of Life. So I think I had the whole, or coming into this, I thought I had the whole series, but then I was just looking here, and there's actually one called The Lost Chronicles. So I have no idea what that is. So now when I'm done filming this, I of course am going to go check out what The Lost Chronicles is. But Yeah, this is a series that I'm really excited to get to because it just adds on to that world of Lost, which I love so much. So I don't know exactly where this takes place in the Lost series. It might be, I still see, I'm forgetting his name, but I still see the boy here. So I imagine it takes place in the first few seasons, but we'll see. But yeah, so very excited to get to this now that I have the entire series in paperback. Like, awesome. Just a really cool find. So Lost, Signs of Life, and this one was written by Frank Thomas. A really cool find in a new bookstore that I'd never been to before. So, of course, I will be back now. These next three are from a bookstore I've been to in the past, but one I haven't been to in many months now just because of everything going on, and it's not terribly close, so when I go out there, it needs to be worthwhile. First up is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, I actually am an idiot. I own this book already, and when I went across it, I thought, I think I own that one. But, of course, I pulled up my list. I looked under Indiana Jones because I also grabbed Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom novelization. So I pulled up the eyes on my list. Of course, Raiders of the Lost Ark isn't there because it's under R. So, yeah, I do own this one already, but I bought it again. Whatever. I'll see which one is in better shape, which, frankly, on the outside, I feel like the other one is probably in better shape, so we'll see. But, if nothing else, I can get rid of it. But the other one I grabbed is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So I think there's only one more of the 4 film novelizations that I need, but offhand, I can't tell you which one. But yeah, so cool finds, even though I did own one of them. I think it's really cool to find these Indiana Jones books. They actually had one of the prequel novels as well, but I want to start at the beginning of that, and then I don't want to buy any more until I read that and find out if I like it or not. And the one they had at the store was book number 3 or 4 or something. So I held off on that one and grabbed these two instead. So Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom novelization and a second copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So pretty cool finds. And I should mention that Temple of Doom was written by James Caan, and Raiders of the Lost Ark is written by Campbell Black. So very cool finds. The last one I grabbed from that bookstore was another one I'm really happy I found. This is an actual prequel to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This is called Firestorm, written by Greg Keyes. So I know I haven't talked about it nearly enough on the channel, but Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite series of all time. And so this one is one that I will definitely be prioritizing this year. I would love to go through and do a review of the reboot series of Planet of the Apes, and maybe, try to hit as many novels as I can in there and just do a whole review of that entire universe. But this one will definitely be one that I get to at some point this year. So Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the prequel to the film Firestorm, written by Greg Keyes, rather. This is one that I found at the thrift store, and I was not having any luck at the thrift store I was at, and then finally, suddenly, this one came into view. So this is the novelization to Gone in 60 Seconds, and this one is written by MC Bolin. So I love this movie. This came out, prime time for me to just love, action movies like this. It's dumb, it's loud, it's big, but it's a ton of fun. It has an awesome Nick Cage and Angelina Jolie. That's an awesome cast. Admittedly, I have not seen this movie since probably high school, but that will be changing. I do want to add this one to my Blu-ray collection soon because I realized that after I bought this that I don't own it. So yeah, very interested in checking this one out. I love these kind of silly, why does this novelization even exist? Who is this serving? Nobody, except me apparently, but yeah, very excited to check this one out. So Gone in 60 Seconds, a novel by MC Bolin that I picked up from the thrift store. So this is one of those 50-cent finds that obviously I couldn't pass up. Let's jump over to the dollar store pickups I grabbed, and both of these are very similar, so I'll just show them together. We have Paddington 2, the junior novel, and then Aquaman, the junior novel. So both of these are junior novelizations, which you guys know I get a kick out of. I love novelizations. I love middle grade. Of course, I'm going to enjoy junior novelizations because they're just middle grade adaptations of films. So Aquaman is a movie I absolutely love. I could read this one today probably and enjoy it. We'll see. And then Paddington 2, I've not seen either of the Paddington movies, but I've heard nothing but incredible things. So definitely excited to have both of these in the collection. And I grabbed these both from the dollar store, which is just so random. I love finding novelizations or media tie-in books at the dollar store. So Aquaman and Paddington 2, two more from my junior novelization collection. This next one goes alongside Gone with 60 Seconds. I found them both at the same thrift store. But this is Button Uncanny Stories, written by Richard Matheson. So this is actually Matheson's short stories, so that's always cool. But the real reason I wanted it is because, as it says on the title here, Button is actually the source material for The Box with Cameron Diaz. Now, that's a movie I've not seen, but I've seen trailers for it over the years, and it's one I've always wanted to check out. So I figure I will watch Button, rather read Button, and then I will watch the box and see how they compare. So yeah, this was a pretty cool find. It's in pretty good shape, and it had an old Borders bookstore sticker on it, so it's obviously been in someone's collection for quite some time. But yeah, pretty excited about this one. So Button, Uncanny Stories by Richard Matheson. Now let's move over to the graphic novels I grabbed last month, and both of these are from Harleys, so I got them for like $4 to $5, so very cheap. First up is Harley's Little Black Book, and this is by a lot of different authors here. Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, Neil Adams, Simon Bisley, and so on. So this is actually like a collection of one-shots from what I could tell. She meets up with all these different characters, if I can show you. So you have Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, I can't read that one, The Bombshells, Lobo, and Zatanna. So this has 6 issues, I believe that would be, right? Yeah, 6 issues where she is teaming up with these different characters in the DC universe. So this should be pretty cool. I like the art style on the cover here. The inside also looks pretty good. I'm super interested in Harley Quinn as a character, so I definitely wanted to check this one out, and it was very cheap. So ended up finding Harley's Little Black Book from Ollie's for only like $4, $5. So very good deal on this hardcover book. Another hardcover graphic novel that I was able to find is another one from my Star Wars, like, I don't know, reading order, consumption order, whatever you want to call it, where I'm planning to do a lot of Star Wars, canon Star Wars things this year in terms of graphic novels, books, and movies. And I think I even have a video game in there at some point. But yeah, so I'm hoping to start that this year. It's pretty lengthy, so I know I won't get through the whole thing. And it's very personal to me. It's very unique to what I'm hoping to get through. So it's not a complete reading order or anything like that. But I mentioned it in another video. If you guys are interested in seeing what that is, I can definitely do a video on that just to kind of share with you what my plans are for 2021 and whatever 2022 if I need to go that far. But one of those on this list later on is Star Wars Shattered Empire. So you can kind of see it at the top there. This is it says Journey to Star Wars Force Awakens. So they did some books and graphic novels. They have like adult books, young adult books, and then middle grade books and graphic novels that all lead up to like the newer films that before they come out. So this one was released right before Force Awakens. So I'm going to read this before I watch Force Awakens, which is one I have seen, but 8 and 9 I have not. So I'm gonna, consume some other material in between watching the films, and this is one of those. So this was actually cheaper than it was on Comixology, I think, because that's where I was gonna buy a lot of these. But it happened to be there. It was like behind something else too, so it was very serendipitous that I found it, but I was so excited when I picked it up. So this is a pretty short one. I think this is probably only 4 issues, but yeah, very excited to read this one when I get to it. So Star Wars Shattered Empire is another graphic novel that I found from Ollie's, and this one was like $6, I think. So if you're interested, check your Ollie's. I know it's so hit and miss, but hey, you never know when you get lucky. Okay, so we are on the last one now, and this is also Star Wars themed, and just one that I think is probably now one of the cooler items in my collection. So shout out to the YouTube channel, The Movie Vault, who I discovered recently. He's awesome. He has such a wonderful collection, and he also does kind of MediaTube, much like I do, where he talks books, movies, and other things. So this one is called The Star Wars Archives, and it's episodes 4 through 6, so 1977 and 1983, and this is a Taschen book. So written by Paul Duncan. So let me show it on the side here. Like, this is what the side looks like. It's not even the spine. This is the spine. This is the side. It has this like pull out in it. And I don't know if you use it as a bookmark. That's kind of what I'm assuming as you go through it. But this is basically a comprehensive history of the first 3 books. So you have like behind the scenes photos, you have script material in here, and so on and so forth. And each episode is about 150 to 170 pages. And he was showing it off on his channel, and it looks so cool. Like, I am really excited to dive into this one because, being such a big Star Wars fan, and I want to know more. Like, I consider myself a Star Wars fan, but I just don't know enough. I haven't consumed enough material in that universe to really be an expert, which it's not the goal necessarily, but I would just like to know more because I find it so interesting. And here's the back. It has the definitive exploration of the original trilogy, pull quote there. But yeah, this one is gorgeous. Another hardcover, just in great shape. And I ended up picking this one up on Amazon. Shockingly, this book is only about around $20, which blew my mind. When he showed it, I was like, man, that's got to be, a $50, $75 book. But no, it's very cheap. So that's awesome. There actually is like oversized editions of this, which are about twice the length or so. You can get those right off the Taschen website. but they are $200. The thing that's upsetting is that in order to get the prequel trilogy, you have to buy the $200 one, at least at this point. It looks gorgeous. It's red. It's really cool. And I enjoy the prequel trilogy. So I definitely want to get that at some point, but I'm not paying $200 for it. I'm hoping that they release one of these smaller editions in the future. And if they do, I will be pre-ordering it and getting it day one because this is awesome. So happy to have this in my collection. A big shout out to the Movie Vault. If you don't follow him, you are missing out because the man knows his stuff and he's very entertaining to watch. So definitely recommend that. And without him, I never would have heard of this book. So definitely check out his channel. And yes, if this is something that looks interesting, you can grab it right now on Amazon, at least at time of this filming, for under $20. So definitely check it out. So Star Wars Archives episodes 4 through 6, written by Paul Duncan from Taschen, is the last book that I grabbed recently. All right, and there they are, excluding the Star Wars book, which is just too heavy to put up like this, but this is everything that I grabbed recently in the world of books. So yeah, this was a really fun stack again. I know that I tend to buy a ton of media tie-in books, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, but hopefully somebody enjoys seeing these somewhere. But let me know down in the comments below, have you guys checked any of these out? Is there anything that I should prioritize over something else? Let me know down in the comments below. I love having more of a conversation with you guys down there. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. But if not, well, thank you for watching this one. I really do appreciate that. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.